my beautiful friends. Welcome to my channel. Inverness is a city on Scotland's northeast coast, where the River Ness meets the Moray Firth. It's the largest city and the cultural capital of the Scottish Highlands. Its old town features 19th-century Inverness Cathedral, the mostly 18th-century old high church and an indoor Victorian market selling food, clothing and crafts. The contemporary Inverness Museum and Art Gallery traces local and Highland history. Inverness attracts visitors from across the world for its natural landscapes, quaint towns, medieval ruins, and prehistoric sites. Located in the Scottish Highlands, it's a great place for nature lovers looking to explore its vast landscape. There are many hiking and cycling trails of various lengths that run along the canals, lakes, and forests of Inverness. Exploring the city centre gives you plenty of sightseeing opportunities in the form of Victorian-era marketplaces, cathedrals, and museums. Inverness also houses some of Scotland's top whisky distilleries, where you can learn about the process of making this Scottish tipple while sampling some single malts. From spotting the elusive Loch Ness monster to reliving one of the bloodiest battles in Scottish history, check out our guide on the best things to do in Inverness. Inverness has a great location astride the River Ness at the northern end of the Great Glen. In summer it overflows with visitors intent on monster hunting at nearby Loch Ness, but it's worth a visit in its own right for a stroll along the picturesque River Ness, a cruise on Loch Ness, and a meal in one of the city's excellent restaurants. Discover more about the unique history and culture of the city of Inverness and the Scottish Highlands at Inverness Museum and Art Gallery. Explore our fascinating range of artifacts and collections that celebrate Highland life and heritage. Our galleries feature both permanent and temporary exhibitions, which includes work from local artists and crafters in our community, to those further afield. Explore exciting stories from the past and learn about the people, environment and traditions of the Highlands at Inverness Museum and Art Gallery. Explore the historic city of Inverness.
Plan the perfect holiday in Scotland around Loch Ness and Inverness attractions. This Highland region is the perfect place to give you an all-around experience of Scottish culture, wildlife, history and hospitality. The area is steeped in history, surrounded by mystery and teeming with the untamed wilderness. What's more, with the breathtaking scenery of the Scottish Highlands, you'll find that even travelling to your next destination is an awe-inspiring adventure in itself. There is no end to the many things to do and places to see in Inverness and around Loch Ness. Loch Ness is a large, deep, freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands extending for approximately 37 kilometres southwest of Inverness. Its surface is 16 meters above sea level. Loch Ness is best known for alleged sightings of the cryptozoological Loch Ness monster, also known affectionately as Nessie. Loch Ness monster, by name Nessie, large marine creature believed by some people to inhabit Loch Ness, Scotland. However, much of the alleged evidence supporting its existence has been discredited, and it is widely thought that the monster is a myth. Most visitors to Inverness want to see Loch Ness during their stay. It's only 8 miles from Inverness and there are various ways of getting there. If you have access to a car, it is just 15 minutes drive on a relatively quiet route, including single-track roads. The best driving route to see the loch at close quarters is by taking the B862 from Inverness to Dawes. Signposts show Dawes. Once you on the B862, it goes all the way to Loch Ness, so you can't go wrong. As you approach Dawes, you get a spectacular view of Loch Ness and a great picture opportunity. Then at Dawes Village, there is the best beach anywhere on Loch Ness. And, for good measure, the Dawes Inn is right on the beach. but don't drink alcohol and drive. The legal drink-drive limit in Scotland is less than 1 pint. Inverness bus station, Farallon Park, is just a couple of 100 yards from the railway station in the centre of town. The number 16 bus leaves the bus station approximately every 2 hours to doors, Inverferrig, and Foyers. Check the bus times before you travel. A popular way for keen cyclists to get from Inverness to Loch Ness is by bike. You can hire them in Inverness and have a lovely day cycling the relatively flat 8 miles to the loch and back. Best take a snack and drink with you, as shops are not an option at doors, but the Doors Inn does serve delicious meals. A raincoat too should be an essential, just in case you experience changeable Highland weather. The route to Loch Ness by bike is the same as by car, except that there are cycle paths for most of the way to doors, thus making Inverness to Loch Ness on a bike a very nice day out.
For by the National Trust for Scotland. Visit the powerfully moving site of the final Jacobite Rising, the last and the most harrowing pitched battle to be fought on British soil. Explore the interactive visitor centre, view fascinating artifacts from both sides of the confrontation, and experience the battle in our immersive surround cinema. On the 16th of April 1746, the final Jacobite Rising came to a brutal head. Jacobite supporters, seeking to restore the Stuart monarchy to their British thrones, gathered to fight the Duke of Cumberland's government troops. It was the last pitched battle on British soil and, in less than an hour, around 1,500 men were slain, more than 1,000 of them Jacobites. The richly researched, stimulating and sensitive Culloden Visitor Centre, which stands beside the battlefield, features artifacts from both sides of the battle and interactive displays that reveal the background to the conflict. It stands as a monument and a guide to a pivotal day in history. Discover how a bloody fight that lasted only an hour changed life in the Highlands forever. A visit to Culloden is a poignant experience. Headstones mark the graves of hundreds of clansmen who gave their lives for the Jacobite cause. A 6 meters high memorial cairn honors the fallen, and an eerie silence often falls across wild Drumossie. There is no escaping the emotions Culloden evokes. The Culloden Voaduct, also known as the Clava Cairns Viaduct, is an impressive railway bridge structure. It spans the River Nene near Clava, about 6 miles from Inverness, and at 1,800 feet, is the longest masonry railway viaduct in Scotland, still in regular use for passenger traffic to this day. The Sandstone Viaduct, or Arched Bridge, opened in 1898 as part of the Inverness and Aviemore Direct Railway. It was designed by Murdoch Patterson, chief engineer of the Highland Railway, with a central arch over the river, which is 100 feet wide, and 14 arches on either side, all 50 feet wide. Originally, there was a railway station, Culloden Moor, close by, but this closed in 1965. The structure has a Category A listed status. This spectacular site of Scottish history has become vastly more popular with tourists since the recent release of the Outlander books and TV series. The Clava Cairns are said to have inspired the fictitious Grainadon standing stones, which send the main character, Claire, back in time. Set within the Balnú of Clava, a beautiful wooded area, the ancient Clava Cairns are a group of Bronze Age cairns and standing stones near Inverness. They are about 4,000 years old, so this burial ground one of the oldest well-preserved sites in Scotland. 3 ancient cairns make up the oldest part of the cemetery, dating from around 2000 BC. A circle of standing stones surrounds each one. They run in a line, northeast to southwest. The two outer structures are passage graves. This is because they each have an entrance passage into the inner chamber, which is aligned to the southwest. The central cairn is a ring cairn, as it has no entrance. The layout of the cairns suggests a link with the midwinter sun, which sets in the southwest. The tallest stone faces in this direction, aligning stones with the rising and setting of their sun was an important practice in ancient Scotland and Britain. It can be seen in many other monuments, including the famous Stonehenge in Salisbury.
Is located 4.5 miles west of Faughers and 24 miles east of Inverness on the east coast of Scotland. Having been badly damaged by fire in 1645, the castle was later rebuilt. The lime-harled building is a typical Z-plan tower house with ornate corbelled battlements and bartizans. If you know where to look, you can see cannon drain spouts and a sundial built into the side of the keep. Today you can visit in the interior with its unusual plaster ceilings and see French furniture, paintings, European and Chinese porcelain, Japanese artifacts, toys and much, much more. There are many rooms open to visit on several floors, so you need to allow a good hour to look around everything. If you are interested in furnished interiors, as opposed to old castle ruins, then you will certainly enjoy your visit. At the end of your tour, don't forget to carry on through the tea room to the old kitchen, and then when you exit the gift shop, the old dairy is outside to your left. Architecturally, the castle has a very well-preserved 16th-century central keep with two 5-story towers on opposing corners. The interior of the castle is also well-preserved, containing fine antique furniture, oriental artifacts and painted ceilings, largely dating from the 17th-19th centuries. Today the castle and surrounding policies, including a national daffodil collection, are owned by the National Trust for Scotland and are open to the public to visit throughout the year. The castle may be hired for weddings and indoor or outdoor events. An ancient Pictish monument known as Rodney's Stone can be seen in the castle grounds. Acres of gentle moory countryside surround the rose-coloured Brodie Castle, ancestral home of the Brodie clan for over 400 years. Although their family seat has been here since the 12th century. See how changing times altered the castle's shape and purpose. The impenetrable 16th-century guard chamber is flanked on one side by a cozy 17th-century wing and on the other by a sprawling Victorian extension. The castle houses a magnificent collection of furniture, ceramics and artwork, including works by 17th-century Dutch masters and 20th-century Scottish colorists. It also boasts an impressive library containing over 6,000 volumes. The playful garden at Brodie Castle is full of excitement for all the family. Located near to the castle, it explores the Brodie family history in a novel and fun.
Inverness with a visit to Inverness Museum and Art Gallery. Situated right in the historic centre of the city at the foot of the castle hill, the museum is a treasure trove of artifacts relating to the history of Highlands Scotland. Inverness Museum and Art Gallery is a museum and gallery on Castle Wynd in Inverness in the Highlands of Scotland. Admission is free. The collection and facilities are managed by High Life Highland on behalf of Highland Council. The original Inverness Museum opened in 1881 and began to develop as a Highland and Jacobite collection. One of the important early additions was a group of historic Stuart portraits donated by the family of Prince Frederick Duleep Singh, including a portrait of Prince Charles Edward Stuart attributed to Pompeo Batoni and a Cromwell that Prince Freddie hung upside down. Subsequent additions to the collection include examples of Highland landscapes by Scottish artists including Alexander Nasmyth, John Quinton Pringle, and Tom Scott. The Castle Wind Bridge Street area of Inverness was cleared for redevelopment in 1963 and the current complex was built. Since 1963 there have been two major redevelopments to improve the museum, the first in 1982 to incorporate a cafe, new permanent galleries and temporary exhibition, art galleries, and again in 2006 it was closed for 6 months to allow a £1.3 million makeover, with the redesign completed in time for Highland 2007. The museum presents history and heritage in the capital of the Highlands. On the ground floor you will find Scottish geology and natural history as well as the archaeology of the Highlands including Pictish stones. The displays continue on the first floor with the more recent history of the Highlands, Jacobite memorabilia, Inverness silver, Highland weapons and bagpipes. The first floor features a program of temporary exhibitions. This puma was captured in Inverness Shire in 1980. After it died it was stuffed and placed in the museum. In 1980 a puma was captured in Inverness Shire. It is believed that it was an abandoned pet. The puma was subsequently put into a wildlife park. When it died it was stuffed and placed in the museum. Inverness' first museum was opened in 1826. Since then the museum has undergone a number of transformations, most recently in 2007, when the building was extensively refurbished with a range of new displays and visitor facilities. The exhibitions begin on the ground floor with geology and natural history as well as the rich archaeological heritage of the Highlands. Continue upstairs to discover the more recent history of the Highlands. Here you will find Jacobite memorabilia, Inverness silverware, authentic Highland weapons and bagpipes. The museum offers a great deal more than just exhibitions and displays, with a program of lunchtime talks, workshops, recitals as well as activities for children and adults. The art gallery hosts an exciting program of local fine art and craft exhibitions, with a variety of changing featured artists. A mug cafe is the perfect place to stop off for a spot of lunch or tea, coffee and a cake. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe my channel.